Shalom, shalom. So, I want to share with you, one is a vision that I had, and another one is a dream that I just recently had. Both of them, they contain some of the big names out there in the music industry. I don't know why it's been continuing like this, but I got to put it out there in case somebody knows somebody who can pray for them or can be able to intercede for them, and God can be able to turn it around for them. That's the purpose of all of this, so that they can be able to be reached out and have salvation. Now, somebody once told me that you are only 2 or 3 contacts away from the world leader, or maybe from somebody that you aspire to talk to. For example, maybe you might be 2 or 3 contacts away from, I don't know, let's say Donald Trump, for example. Maybe you know a friend, and a friend's dad works maybe in a government or in a business circle where they have contacts for that other person, right? So we live in an interconnected world. Therefore, we should take advantage of that to pass out information that can build and that can be able to rescue, and not leave people just to go out, in the way that they are moving, without giving a chance to consider their ways and come to the Lord. All right. So I want to speak first and foremost about a dream that I just recently had, and containing 2 big musicians. The one is the guy who sang this famous song, Calm Down. Okay, I think his name is Rema. I saw his face clearly. And then the other one is Wizkid. These are 2 big Afro beats artist, I guess. And so what I saw was that the dream started off like we were either, it looked like it was in China or some place maybe in my home country in Zimbabwe. But we were looking at as if we were trying to go into a certain park, or a zoo, all right, let's say a zoo, but it looked like a safari type of a thing. But we had arrived there very early in the morning, and it was around, when I checked the clock, I remember that it was around 4:50 a.m. I had one person from the church, Commission Church here. I will not reveal that person's name, but I had one person together with me in that dream. And then what happened was that when we arrived at this safari or park, one of the game rangers told us that it was too early. We had arrived too early, so we had to wait in what seemed like a waiting room. And when we waited there, all of a sudden I saw myself that we were sitting at a table inside that waiting room with one brother from our church, and then Rema. Okay, immediately I knew him, and it seemed as if he had a relationship or he was a friend, something like that, to the other brother from the church. And me, when I saw him, the first thing on my mind was, okay, I need to talk to this young man and to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with him. And it seemed like when I was thinking like that, he immediately also sensed what I was thinking. And I felt that he became resistant before I even spoke. So what I did was I said to him, hey, can we move outside and let's go just for a walk, just me and him. I invited him for a walk outside since we were waiting. And the game rangers had told us that they'll open the park at 6, and this was at around 4:50. So he hesitated, and he kind of like said no. And then I said, okay, let's just go together for a walk. And when I said let's go together, including the other brother who seemed to be like his friend, then he agreed, and then we started walking. So we walked, and we were just taking a walk, and it seems like we were going towards a certain fence. Okay, and then the next thing that I remember seeing was that the other brother, when we were almost approaching the fence, was telling me how he was attending prayers, like 2-hour prayers, and how his mom had made him to do that, and actually how he was enjoying it. And Rema was quiet, but he was walking with us. And then when we arrived at the fence, it seems like we saw that something that looked like a gate. Okay, so I opened the gate, and then we entered inside. And the moment we entered inside, then I remember Rema now spoke, and he said he didn't feel comfortable being around people like me, because he felt like the environment where I was associated with, it was too conservative. That was exactly his words. Like, it's too conservative, it's not his style. But he kept on walking with us somehow. When we entered into that gate, it immediately looked like people. It was an after party, okay? It looked like an after party. When people come from the clubs in the morning, or when a party is finished, there's a lot of litter around, there's a lot of chaos. So it looked exactly like that. There was bottles all over, and some people were lying down. The music had stopped, but it looked clearly that the party had finished. Some were drunk and all of that. So we kept on walking, and when we kept on walking, then all of a sudden it seemed like these other two guys, Rema and the other church brother, they were a little bit behind me. And me, I was now in front. And then all of a sudden in front of me, I saw, guess who? There was one chair. And the person I saw on that chair, it looked like a big chair, and it was slammed in it like this. And it was Wizkid. Then I looked and said, "This is Wizkid, yeah?" I said, "What is this guy doing here?" And then when I looked at him, he was not sitting straight in the chair. He was like slumping like this. Yeah, he was slumping like this. And he was holding like a bottle, okay? And then this is what he said. He said, like he was crying. He was crying. He was trying to cry out something, but I couldn't hear him. So I drew closer to him, and then he was crying softly. He was saying, "Please help me. Please help me. I'm in pain." Okay. So he was actually crying out to say, "Please help me. I'm in pain." But he was saying it out like in that whimpering voice. "Please help me. I'm in pain." So he said that almost like 2 or 3 times. And when he said that, then immediately I said, then the other guys, that is Rema and the other church brother, they came. They were now by me, and they were just watching what was going on. And then immediately when he said that helped me, I stretched out my hand because I wanted to pray for him. And I stretched out my hand towards his chest. You understand? And when I put my hand, trying to put my hand towards his chest, immediately I felt, before I had reached his chest, immediately I felt like a wave in my hand, okay? Like a heat wave. Yeah, I had like a heat wave moving in my hand. For some of you, the graphic that I saw was like if you've ever been in a very hot place, like on a road which is very hot. If you look very far, you see like there will be like something that comes that optical illusion where you see things like the heat becomes like, it's almost like water and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what it was happening, and I could feel the wave like that. And it got stronger and stronger. And immediately, I just knew that the waves that were coming were demonic. They were demons that were kind of like vibrating out before I'd even touched his chest, So, long story short, then I reached out my hand and then I touched his chest, and then I just commanded, in the name of Jesus, I command you demons to get out. Within a split of a second, then he started manifesting, okay? He started manifesting and wriggling and stuff like that. So the scene changed and it seemed like he was okay. And then I moved on, and immediately in front of him, I saw like, it was now like a corridor. And I saw there were like, what do you call it? Mattresses. There were mattresses, like there were mattresses that were standing next to each other. I can't remember how many of them. I think there were 5 or so. And those mattresses, for some reason, I was looking at them. I looked at them from this side. I came and I looked at them from this side. And I went back and forth like 2 times, looking again. And by that time in the dream, it seemed like now I was getting very sensitive spiritually. And I was seeing like these mattresses where they were having like also some demonic infestation in it. Not bacteria, but demonic infestation. So I was looking and it seems like I was trying to figure out, what should I do? Should I pray or what? And when I was looking again from this side, then I saw my wife coming from afar together with a best friend. Okay, they're coming together. And then it seemed like I can't remember if I prayed for them, I prayed for those mattresses or not. But then when my wife arrived, and then she was trying to ask me what's going on, and she was trying to pull me back from this almost trance that I was in, because I was now very sensitive. It seemed like I was not very aware of what was happening around me. I was just focused on these mattresses, trying to deal with them. But Wizkid was okay, and the other brother and Rema, they were just still at that place where they were. And then immediately I woke up, right? So when I woke up, I had a very strong impression that we need to pray for these two. Need to pray for especially Wizkid. I don't know him, obviously, but I just sense that whoever out there who cares, pray for this brother or this young man. And also Rema, okay? These two. We need to pray for them. We really need to pray for them, okay?